I'm ready, I think. Oh. I'm not nervous. No, I'm not nervous. Oh, listen to the acoustic in here. I. My name is Olivia Shay. I don't know what else to say. Not rhyme though. That did rhyme. "19 things I learned in 2019. Just 19 though. I learned a lot. Many of these things I already knew, I guess, but it's just a matter of 2019 kind of like brought them to the light or challenged me to really, show that I know this. So yeah, these I will say are the lessons, the backbone lessons of 2019. You don't owe anyone anything. I think that very easily we always feel like we need to be indebted to people because they helped us or because they complimented us or because we know them, and it's not true. Like, if it's mine, it's mine, and I'm not obligated to share. I think 2019 showed me that it can be a little bit selfish because you don't owe anybody anything. Only allow yourself to become attached to people who recognize when you're not yourself. I think that we very easily can sometimes, oh, I really like this person, or this person's very like warm, or they seem very genuine, and we really want to just like latch onto them. And that can be for different reasons. Maybe you're just desperate. Maybe because you haven't had someone who's genuine in a long time. So when you see a glimpse of someone who could be genuine, you immediately want to attach yourself to them and become like very, absorbed with their presence. It's only worth it to do it to people who know you for who you are. And if they don't recognize when you're not yourself, then they don't truly know you. Somebody who doesn't know you should not be around you constantly. It can be dangerous. Spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, like it can be dangerous. And I think that's one thing that 2019 has reminded me of is don't let anybody who don't recognize who you are and when you're not yourself, don't let them be who you're attached to yourself to. Write it down and take the picture. Very easily, we forget things or we just want to capture something, a thought, a memory, a moment, a feeling. And for me, like I'm very much like, I love to write things down. I love to take a picture and just have that moment to look back on, even just the thought to look back on where I was and what I thought and how I interpreted something. It's very, very, I really like to look at that. 2019 has reminded me that it's worth it to write it down and take the picture. Don't allow what other people say to drown out your own intuition. Trust yourself. I feel like this year, I've really gone back to trusting my own instinct and my own intuition because I'm smart, okay? And I pick up on things very easily, but sometimes I find myself allowing kind of what other people say. And it's mostly the people who I, am trusting of, or I'm around in my circle. It's not just anybody, but nonetheless, I allow them to kind of influence my decision or what I know and what I feel so strongly to be influenced and kind of manipulated to what they see and what they interpret. And it's two more times I'm kind of smarter than you in these kind of situations, you know what I'm saying? So it's I know what I'm talking about. So I'm 2019 really taught me to just trust my instinct, trust my intuition, because I got it and it works. Don't allow somebody else's perspective or what they say to influence and drown out my own intuition. This one was a real key at the beginning of the year for me. Your old assignment that God gave you that you did not fulfill is still your present assignment. This one hit very hard, I would say, but I wasn't surprised at all because I've been new, you know what I'm saying? You just know what God has for me is still for me, and what He wants me to do, He still wants me to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't do it, it doesn't mean His desire has gone away. It does not mean His wish and His will for my life is deteriorated, you know? Everything happens for a reason, so relax. There was a certain point in the year, about like halfway into the year, that I heard like 6 to 7 or 8 type of times. I heard within the span of like 3 days, people just kept telling me everything happens for a reason. And it was during one of the most crazy moments of the year. And that was just God, just, giving me confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. It was just crazy. So that was one big thing for me, was everything happens for a reason. Work smarter, not harder. My crazy boss taught me that. I really hope he watches this. At the end of the day, what is the quality? Like, it's definitely quality over quantity. Lack of execution and implementation will discredit your creativity. Your lack of execution and implementation will discredit your creativity. I want to thank my grade 10 French teacher. I already know. You know. He's really like my favorite teacher. He doesn't believe me, but he is. What he told me was about procrastination. He was saying that your work can be great. It can be worth an A+, but because you submitted it a day late, it's not of the quality. It's not looked at as great anymore because you did not meet the deadline, because you did not do it when you needed to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I thank him for saying that, because since he said that, I've always thought about that, even when I'm submitting assignments and when I'm like, can I just submit this a day late? Like, just anything with that. And it's like, that really was the root of knowing and recognizing, hey, like, if I don't do this and me not actually putting these things into practice, like, depletes how creative I am. I'm misrepresenting myself when I don't do my best, when I don't execute what I want to do, what I plan on doing, what I say I'll do, So yeah, in 2019, that was one thing that I always was constantly reminded of, and one lesson that I really decided to learn was to not let my lack of execution and implementation drown out and overtake my creativity. Dance and sing whenever you want to. And I already kind of do that, and anyone can attest to that, down to the pizza man and the mail delivery guy. But do it in a greater capacity, because these are my passions and these are my gifts. Don't allow yourself to be deceived or naive, because people know exactly how they're treating you. People know exactly what they're doing when they mistreat you. Like, we're grown, we big people. Like, we know. You're the only one who can push yourself hard enough to succeed. This year, I really had to push myself to conquer to conquer a lot, and to, succeed and excel in a lot of things. And I'm very proud of myself for that. But it just really gave me like a greater understanding of, I'm the only one who can push me this far. With God, I can do anything. So I can't rely on Billy again, and I can't rely on Susan. I can't rely on somebody else to push me. Like, a support is great, encouragement is great, and seeing a reward is great, but no one can get me there but myself. This one was very nice. It was a nice lesson to learn and finally put into words. God only funds what He endorses. if you want to go do X, Y, and Z, and God didn't call you to do X, Y, and Z, He is not giving you the funds. He is not giving you the opportunity. He's not going to allow it to succeed because He wants what's best for you and He has a plan and purpose for your life. So if you want to go do X, Y, and Z and He sent you to do J, H, and I, then sometimes it's best to lose all expectations. Expectations of people, places, ventures, of how an event is gonna turn out, how your hair will turn out. Sometimes just not stress so much and have such a heavy expectation of everything that you do. Because very often you stress yourself out or you intimidate yourself so you don't even do what you want to do. You know, sometimes it's just let it breeze and see how it goes. Not every day overthink. You are not obligated to be the person that people want you to be. You know yourself best. I know myself best. Don't allow other people and what they expect because they can only see within their own scope of vision. And sometimes your purpose is greater than that, and it exceeds the boundaries of what they can see and what they believe and what they know. And that's fine because we all are different. We all have different experiences and different perspectives. So why, you know what I mean? Why would you allow somebody who can only see a horizon tell you what to do when your mission is under the sea? You know, that makes sense? Kind of. This year, 2019, God allowed me to realize that the weight of what is holding me back is very often found within myself. Just as I'm the only one who can push myself to succeed, what I choose to hold on to will weigh me down more than anything else that somebody else tries to attach to me. I just hold on to a lot. I carry a lot. I have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of emotional, goodness gracious, a lot of emotional responsibilities and responsibilities that aren't even physical. I hold a lot and I'm working on it. And God's working on it. He digging through it. You know what I'm saying? He digging through it. Sometimes I need to learn to just let it go because it's holding me back. Eat more food, Olivia. I don't know what it is with 2019, but I just stopped eating, or like I don't get hungry very often. Like I just don't eat. And I love off of food. I don't eat. This is a problem. This is a real problem. It's like 4:30 in the morning right now. And I haven't eaten since 9 a.m. Listen, it's an issue. I'm working on it. I have invited God to work on that specifically. I've spoken to God about it. We're working out the details. We're going to get started on that real soon. Because it needs to fix. 2019 has showed me that friendships can grow apart. And they can also grow back together. It's not always a beef thing. It's not always malice. It's not always an eruption. It's not always something happens. We just grow apart because people grow. You can't have your 50th without taking your first. Very oftentimes we try and rush the process of things, or we try to get ahead of ourselves, or we just get discouraged when our first isn't as great as what we imagine. And it's like, why are we putting so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect in everything, every single time, even the first time? It's your first time. You can look at how somebody else does it, but the way you do it will always be different. And you need to know how to master what you do and how you work. Just take the step and don't be paranoid. What if it doesn't work? Or what if somebody doesn't like it? Or what if it's not what I thought? Try it and see. Damn it, try it. Just try it. Take your first and you might just end up with your 50th. If it doesn't make you happy, let it go. just as easy as that. Just let it go. You have to allow yourself to be happy. You have to. I'm ready to go wherever God takes me in 2020. And I'm ready for God to reveal new layers of himself to me. So excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finally, 2019 was a crazy year. And I released and I let go of a lot. And I began a lot and I initiated a lot. And God initiated a lot in my life. So I'm very excited to finally step into many of the things that have been burning inside. So I'm excited for everything. Any and everything that 2020 tries to bring my way.